Hello and welcome to section 13.4, the cost of advantages of home and ownership. What we're going to do in this section is we're going to be exploring the characteristics of fixed rates mortgages. We're going to look at the characteristic of adjustable rate mortgages. We're going to be computing the cost, the total cost, closing cost, and associated with mortgages. And we're going to talk about the identification of the recurring cost of home ownership. So everything is going to be homes and mortgages in this section. So the definition of a fixed mortgage is a loan of a substantial amount extending over a lengthy time interval for the purpose of buying a home or other properties of real estate, and for which the property is pledged as security for the loan is called the mortgage. A mortgage may also be called a deed of trust or a security deed. These are synonyms for mortgages. Now, a fixed rate mortgage. So, fixed rate mortgages, the time until the final payoff is called the term of the mortgage. The portion the portion of the purchase price of the home which the buyer pays initially is called the down payment. So first we have the definition of a term. So it's the term where you start and when you finish. The portion for which you pay initially is called the down payment. And the principal amount of the mortgage is the fund by subtracting the down payment from the purchase price. So the price minus the down payment. That is called the principal amount of the mortgage. So fixed rate mortgages, with a fixed rate mortgage, the interest rate will remain constant throughout the term. It will remain constant. And the initial principal balance, together with the interest due to the loan, is repaid to the lender through regular, constant, periodic monthly payments. This is called amortizing the loan. That's when you have to pay with the lender. So that is the initial principal plus the interest is going to be paid monthly payments to the lender. To the lender is amortizing the loan. Now, a regular monthly payment is calculated using this formula. The regular monthly payment required to repay the loan of P dollars together with the interest at the annual rate R over T years is given by this formula, where P stands for the principal amount, R is the rate, the annual rate, and T stands for time in years. In the term. Now, let's look at the following formula. Using the formula to find a monthly mortgage payment, we're going to use the following example. Find the monthly payment necessary to amortize an $80,000 mortgage. There's P. There's 6%. R is 0.06. We always round to decimals. And T is 25 years. So we're going to use the formula from above to calculate R. So R, the monthly payment, is going to be R $80,000 times rate 0.06 over 12 all over 1 minus 12 over 12 plus 0.06 and then 12 times 25. And then we are going to get, so again, I would like you to use Wolfram Alpha to calculate. So let's do that. So let me go ahead and open a window that contains Wolfram Alpha. Here it is. So I'm going to remove the one that I had, and I'm going to put parentheses here, I'm going to use fractions, 800,000 times, that has a fraction 0.06 over 12. Oops, over 12 like this. And then I have 1 minus, I'm going to use the parentheses actually on the bottom. 1 minus fraction 12 over 12 plus 0.06. Now this number is going to be raised to parentheses 12 times 25. And then I'm going to close that parentheses, and then I'm going to hit enter. And that should give me 515.44. So if I go back to my notes, when I plugged it in, there it is. I should get 515.44, which is exactly what I get from Wolfram Alpha. Now, using the table, that would be the second approach. Another approach to find the monthly payment is using the table from the textbook. Again, that means you're going to be going to your ebook and you're going to go to the table with the monthly mortgage payments. So let's see. That table is found on the following slide or following page. I'm trying to find the table here. So we are going to be using the monthly mortgage payments here. There's your textbook. There's the value. So using this table, you're going to use the rate and years. So for us, the rate was 6% and the years was 25. So if I move over 6.44301, so it's going to be, when I use the table, it's going to be using 80. Why 80? Because this is out of 1,000. So if it's out of 1,000, so it's 8 times 1,000. So it's 80 times the value of 6.44301. So the table, we use 6%, 25 years, 6.44301. This was using $1,000. So we had 80,000. So $80,000. So we have 1,000. We had 80,000 divided by 1,000 will allow us to give me the table. So that's 80. So that's why this value is 80. 80 times the value that we found from the table gives us the same amount, 515.44. So we could have used the formula for the monthly mortgage payment or the table. The table will also be found on modules, so you should be able to also calculate that if I ask that for a quiz question. What if the amortization schedule? So once the regular monthly payment has been determined, an amortization schedule or a repayment schedule can be generated. It will show the allotment of payments of interest or for interest and principal balance for one or more months during the life of the loan. So there should be a schedule that keeps your payments according with. So for example, once you paid the first month, then you have a remaining balance, the principal balance, the interest, and so on. Now, there's an example using the information from the last example, fill in the table.